Hello guys, welcome back. Hope everyone is doing well. So from the previous video we'll be moving on today into other sketching options which we had left from the previous video. So in the previous video we had discussed about pattern curves, and today we'll be discussing about mirror curves, and then we'll be getting into the path modeling, 3D path modeling, uh, and then if time permits we will be further discussing these options also in the upcoming videos. So let us start. Let me make my helping sketch, and let me select my mirror curve option. So as one can find in the mirror curve toolbar, in the mirror curve dialog box, one can find curve to mirror as well as center line. With the settings, convert the center line to your reference. So here I haven't created any center line initially. Now let me consider one of my axes to be my center line. So select this as my center line, so I can easily get the mirrored portion of whatever geometry I want or curve I wanted to mirror. So now what if I don't have this axis in this place? So I can easily create a center line using my line, and that would be converted as in it would be converted as a reference, which would be not appearing on your part modeling, where you'd be required to extrude it or pocket it, whatever option you want you can make it. So similarly, select this, select my curve, and then select the center line, select this as my center line, then press OK. So this one can find it is showing it in a reference manner or an axis manner, right? So this is how one can easily mirror a curve or a geometry as per the requirements. Now why this comes into such a major use is in so many cases you will be having a symmetrical portion in your drawing, so you need not redraw those entities again and again. Irrespective of that, you can mirror it off so that you can save your time and you can generate your model at a faster rate. So now moving forward, we'll be entering into our 3D mode, that is your part modeling mode. So let me create my helping sketch. Let me consider this as to be my helping sketch, and then I will start off with the extrude command. So this is right beside your datum plane, and in the extrude feature, just click on this. You can find a number of options. So here the first one is a section. The section is one which has to be extruded, and you have to specify the direction along which it has to be extruded, right? So you can specify it using your vector, as well as you are having a limits. Here in the limits you have start value as well as end value. You can make it symmetrical about the axis that I'll be explaining further once we start extruding the sketch. Then you have boolean. In boolean you have none and inferred. You can find some of the hidden options here: unite, subtract, as well as intersect. So how this subtract comes into use is a major entity, because you frequently use the subtract option over here and there. And similarly, you can directly draft your sketch whenever as per your requirement. You need not go back to the drafting command to redraft it again and again. So you can further offset it also. If you think your values have to be increased or it has to be reduced, you can directly do it over here itself. Then settings, its body type, you can directly make it as a solid portion, or you can convert it into a sheet portion. Okay, so this is how it comes in. Now before starting with this, you have to see some more options which would be very useful while drawing the while extruding it. So here your option, you can find this is a single curve, connected curve, as well as tangent curve, feature curve, face edges, sheet edges, and regional boundary curve, and curves in group. So these many options are there to extrude your curve. So let me start with the single curve and select my sketches. So one is, if I click on my single curve option, so you can see only this curve is getting extruded. Now if I want my complete portion to be a complete rectangle to be extruded, I'll just click on connected curve. You can find the complete portion gets, because these four lines which we had drawn was a rectangle, so this is getting completely extruded once I click on this. And this is my direction. I can specify my direction based on my, usually when it is taking in this direction, when you have drawn it in the front view, it would be taken in along the single direction, so it can be reversed of minus ZC or plus ZC, because I had considered the Z axis over here, XY axis over here, right? So next, so this is how it is done. And then the values, which are the start distance, you can specify. If it is representing it as 0, then it will start with the immediate sketch where it has been drawn, or you can specify the values. You can see now if it gets extruded 10 mm after your sketch drawn. Okay. Similarly, you have your end distance to whatever extent you want to extrude your sketch. Then this can also be done in both sides by just specifying the symmetry. Symmetry means the both direction it travels. Extrude travels along the both the directions. And now next further we'll go to boolean. In boolean, it's better to have none, because similar we are not subtracting anything. This boolean is useful when you are making, if someone has used other software such as CAD, there you have two different options for extruding. One is called as pad and the other one is called as pocket. Here the pocket is placed in this boolean operation itself that I'll be showing you. Okay, now if you want to draft, you can draft it directly to whatever degree you want. You can change the degrees of draft also to 10 degrees. And if you want to chamfer, you can chamfer it single-sided or two-sided chamfer. Okay, so it's up to you. You can make use of it in any manner as per your requirements. So you can preview it also, how it would appear. Okay, it's not offsetting, so let me take a single offset and you can just preview it before. If you're satisfied, then you can click OK. So this is how you make use of your extrude. As I was talking, if I want to create a hole in between this, or I want to generate a pocket in between this, I would just how would it would be done is, I would just select the plane over here, make some sketch on which, if I want a circular pocket, I would take a circular sketch, and then similarly extrude, select this. Okay, now I'll show other options. If I take the region boundary curve, if this circle acts as my boundary and this is my region, so this would be extruded in this particular manner. So take it along the reverse direction, because this is my curve which has to be the portion which has to be removed from this particular solid element. Okay, so I'll go to boolean. I will now, one can find that all other three options have been activated, right? So now I'll go to subtract. So it will ask me to select the body. I have to remove this circular portion out of this particular body, right? So I'll select this as my body, wherein it has to be removed. Then show result. Okay, and then okay. So in this manner you can make use of your extrude option for making holes or making a pocket in between your solid bodies. So this would be very useful. This one, without extrude you can't find your 3D mode, right? So this is very useful command. And similarly, if you want to revolve, you can. The next option is called as revolve. It can be used to revolve a solid portion, yes, form using your, it's also similar to extrude, but here you are specifying in in terms of, there we are specifying in terms of distance, but here we are specifying in terms of angles, right? So this is my sketch. Let me consider this my sketch, specify my vector. Let me consider vector. It can be done either by choosing any of the option here, or I can directly select the line along which it has to be revolved, right? It can be any line, it can be there within the sketch itself, or it can be outside the sketch. That is up to you. Okay, then specify the point. Along this point it would be revolved. All right, then the start angle, if you want to specify it to 100 degrees to the end, you can see these are the types of adjustments you can easily make, which is usually not available in other softwares, but this is quite much more user friendly as compared to the other softwares. Now similarly you can make use of the other options in the boolean also. Here you can offset it. Since it is a circle, it cannot be offsetted, right? So let me do with some other portion. Okay, yeah, press okay. This is the preview. Press apply. Okay, now similarly I can remove material over here.